past, and I'm gonna put a tombstone over that nurse's. So it's almost Thanksgiving, and 2015, especially the end of it, has been really rough. And I had plans to go to Davenport, Iowa, and I've been planning to go there for a while, because that's where I met my sword fighting friends from Belgrade. And meanwhile, my family was like, or my parents are like, hey, so are you guys going to come to the Thanksgiving party? And I'm like, and inside here, I'm just like, but while they're asking me, they put up this attitude of I can't say no to them, so I'm just like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there, all right. Sure, I guess. But even though I knew that they'd be harassing me for not going, I'd rather be harassed by them than be in an environment of misery and nastiness. But unfortunately, right when I was in the middle of going to Iowa, I was texting my friend Danny because I was staying with him, and I was on route to his apartment about 3.5 hours away. And of course he texted me, don't get pulled over. And whenever you text somebody, don't do this, don't do that, whatever. Of course, since I was going to the Quad Cities, just as I entered the Quad Cities, I obtained the fuck up. Big oops, not the speeding ticket. But the good news is, no more speeding tickets, no more any tickets, and since any speeding ticket that I've gotten has been in a different county, and they're all not on my record, I've been Ubered. Yay! So at least I'm gonna need that. But after I finally arrived in Davenport, I was showered with all of the real love. I was also worrying about my black belt test at the time because my black belt test was a week after I went to Iowa, and everybody was like, you. I was like, but I ended up passing, so I got my black belt about a month ago after a 14.5-week road ride. But after going to my second home in Iowa and being with my real loves, I wanted to figure out where to take my life, how to remove negativity, and how to paint a tombstone with R.I.P. Roses passed in 2016. While preparing for this show and what I want to do for the new year, it seems like all I want to do is fit in, be loved, and find my home and be successful. And one night in Iowa, our group decided to go to a karaoke bar. And I'm not much of a karaoke person because deaf fear singing notes thanks to my sister throwing me in the last table when I was 5 for singing, and several failed attempts at things such as doing band, doing AP music theory, having one of my boyfriends try to bring me up on the stage and get me to sing, you name it, or even somebody handing you a microphone while playing Guitar Hero and they're like, here, sing Jesse's Girl. I'm like, Jesse's Girl! And meanwhile, somebody's over in the corner recording and it's like, I wish that I had Jesse's Girl! And it's just me as a senior in high school, and then he decided to post it on YouTube for the entire universe to see. But then, years later, when I got to college, it's like, whatever. It's just a stupid video. And then when we went to the karaoke bar, my really good friend Danny was like, here, are you going to do karaoke? And it's like, well, I guess, sure, I can't hear. Oh my god, all the songs, why did I do that one? Okay, microphone right there, okay, la 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 la, okay, I'm done. Yeah, I did karaoke, I didn't die. Thanks, guys! But thankfully, at least I didn't totally sound like crap. And my friend recorded it for proof, so it's on Facebook. Not the Facebook. But as the year was coming to a close, as much as I also needed to find my family, I also want to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life, because meanwhile, in web development land, I'm currently sitting here feeling like I'm not really doing anything. It's just, I'm sitting there, I'm going to work, and I feel completely absent. And meanwhile, I just got my black belt, I'm auditioning for game shows, I'm getting to start featuring, I'm finally thriving in Belgrade, I'm finally starting to get introduced to the loving community. But meanwhile, when I was in college and And then 2.5 years later, well, and then as your career is about to completely go down the toilet, you end up being like, okay, so what do I want to do with myself? Believe in myself that I have the skills to do what it takes to finally become self-employed like I really want to, or go sit festering in this job feeling like I'm collecting doses. So, thankfully, the good news is something is finally happening. I didn't turn into Mr. Jetson. Jetson, you're fired. Not me. My real family supports me, and being a web developer is something I wanted to do when I was 12.